quick disclaimer, this video is for demonstrational and entertainment purpose only. We're working with high voltage, so proceed at your own risk, and always important, refer to the official documentation of Gaggimate. So I got the Gaggimate Pro upgrade bundle. Here we have the LCD, the PCB, and all the other stuff. And I also 3D printed myself the housings for the PCB. I printed it in ABS with carbon fiber reinforced, and also display. The only thing I modded was I made this gap a little wider because I wanted to have a little bit of tape or something to glue on the machine to protect it, so that you do not like destroy the coloring of the machine. And let's see how it goes. For the display, I think the only thing you have to check is if this flat cable is like locked in correctly. It seems like it is locked in. So let's mount the display. This is also looking fine. So next one is the PCB. Everything fits. Looks nice. First step done. We're going to the Gaggimate homepage and then going to documentation and then flashing, and then you see display or controller. We're starting with the controller. Plug it in with USB-C and then it finds the serial unit and then flash. So I plugged it in. So press the button and then I press flash controller. So I have the coffee machine here, the flash display, the flashed PCB, some toolings, small zip ties, and some zip tie helpers which you can basically glue on the side and then zip the cables to somehow get a cable management done. I think we can go into the machine. Also the cables here. So we will also remove the steam valve to get better access everywhere. So I removed the steam valve and tried to clean it a little bit. But the next step is to remove the old Brew thermostat, and you have to bridge the two cables. Before I'm going further, I will remove the boiler so that I can somehow move it a little bit to have more space. So now we'll remove the two cables from the thermostat. So I had a really hard time to remove the cables from the Brew thermostat. So I also somehow destroyed it because the clamp mechanism here is so strong. I had a really hard time to remove that, so hopefully the connection at your side is going easier to remove. So now we remove the Brew thermostat for the new one and then we go on. You have to be careful also here because I somehow, when I move the whole boiler, I always bend it here to with the button, so I have to be careful here. Now here's the old Brew thermostat. So I crashed it. But I will mount the new one like in the end because I think it's very fragile. Like, I don't know what this is, M4. When I moved the whole boiler the whole time, so I think it's not the best idea, so I will mount it in the end. So now I will bridge these two. So as I said, it was really hard to removing them, and we bridged them. I tried to somehow clamp these a little bit harder so that the connection is more secure. So next step is to remove these cables from the steam thermostat. Next, nice, and now we somehow extend them. Trying also the trick here a little bit to, I don't know if you can see that, to clamp it a little bit, make a more sturdy connection. There's a pretty tight connection. Perfect. And now we will mount the SSR module here. So here for the SSR, we have a control side which comes from the PCB, and then we have the output side where we have 24 to 480 volts, and here we have 3 to 32 volts DC, and here we have AC. So this is the output side, this is the control side. So that means we are mounting it somewhere here, that we can place the output side here and the control side here. So I wanted to mount the SSR with 2 screws, but there wasn't enough width of these holes to fit in both screws parallel. So I'm just trying to do it with 2 zip ties. I will also glue on some felt because I do not want that the metal is rubbing on the metal, just as a spacer. Now we mount the cables. So you do not have to worry which cable you place on the top and which cable you place down. So as I said, polarity on the output side doesn't matter, but on the control side, yellow is plus, black is minus. So do not mix that up. Seems like connection is good. So first of all, we want to remove the white one on the left side. I mean, I have an EU version, so I don't know if the US is looking a little bit different, but you can see that in the wiring diagram. So we want the white one on the left and connect it with the blue one that comes from the kit. So I'm trying to get myself a little bit space here, so I'm trying to remove the black one. So remove the black one, and now I wanted to have the white one. So I got the white one, which I will connect to this blue one. Again, I will do the trick with just pressing it a little bit. So after we removed the white one and connected it to the blue, we remove also the green one and move the black one to that position instead. You can see that all in the wiring diagram, but in the EU version it should then look like a black one, double white and orange, and you connected the blue one to the other white one. So this should be the correct wiring for the steam knob. Brew switch, we first of all remove the green one and the blue one underneath, and we will bridge them. So the blue and the green will be bridged. Now we connect the brown with the gray one, which is then going to the PCB. With the pump we have to remove the gray one, which is the left one of the connectors, and connect it with the red one from the kit. Yeah, I think I managed it. And now connecting the gray one. So I think that worked good. And now we'll connect the green one, which was also in the kit, instead of the gray one. Now I got it. So the green one is in, gray one out, and gray one is extended with the red one. So the pump wiring is also done. So we now have the cable which goes from the PCB to the buttons. And when you look at the wiring diagram, so the first one from each color, so that means the first black one is going to the steam button, and the first green one is also going to the steam button, and the second black is going to the brew button, and the second green is also going to brew button. So that means first black, and black is going in the second row. So that means first black is going here, and first green, first row here. So this is the steam button, which means now the second black is now here in the second row, and the second green is first row here. So this should be the correct wiring. Green ones here on the top and black ones underneath. So now, since we did the wiring hopefully correct, we do a little bit of cable management. Now I forgot the Brew thermostat, the new one. So I will mounting it now. So I somehow moved the whole boiler a little bit to mount the new Brew thermostat. But it's a really stiff cable, so it's hard to mount. Don't know if you can see that, but I'm trying to get the Brew thermostat in the new one. So I managed it to screw it in. Now we have everything secured on the left side. Now we're doing a little bit the switches here, the wiring. I'm gluing one of these zip tie holders here. Here. So now for the plumbing, we'll also remove the silicone hose, and I will also unmount this hose. I think this will be the easiest way. So I guess the boiler will run out a little bit. So I will screw in the boiler again to somehow open the screws in the back. So I will try to open the hose here. Now I will unscrew it again. Now I can unscrew this hose from the boiler. Now the boiler runs out. Perfect. Try it out a little bit. Now we can do the plumbing. So I will remove. So this is also free. I will also try it a little bit. So for the plumbing, you basically have this L piece, then this T piece, where basically the pressure transducer is connected with the PTFE tube. Here you have an O-ring, so you do not need this PTFE sealing tape. I think this is good. And here we are screwing in this part where both hoses will be connected. So we'll somehow try to tighten it, not too strong, but also not so that it seals. I think this should be fine. Now let's apply some PTFE bandage to seal it. Okay, I have to remove the plastic one again because I do not have any space to somehow mount it. I put on a second layer of PTFE sealing because I do not know if it's really sealed, and it's a little bit pain in the ass to somehow tighten it and then also mount this T piece or this connector. So yeah, hopefully I do not need a third round of PTFE tube or PTFE cover to get it sealed, but now I will mount this and then see if everything is sealed. So now I will mount the boiler again. So lastly, we have to install the pressure transducer. So I will just... So it has to lay horizontally in the housing. I mounted the pressure transducer here in the bottom. I don't know if this is a good idea, but let's see. So we now have to connect this hose to the boiler and the other hose, which is coming from the tank to the boiler, and then connect all the cables to the PCB and hope and pray to God that everything is sealed. I'm not really sure about this connection, but let's see. Now I'll connect the hose to the boiler. So therefore I unscrewed the boiler again to somehow get better to the screws. Let's see if everything is sealed. So now the silicone hose is the last hose. I think the installation is now complete. Now the PCB wiring will start. So we'll also put on some end splices to make everything secure. Do that on every cable that is just loose. Seems like you have to connect the cable beforehand before you move the housing, because there is no space to plug in the cable afterwards. Or I did it wrong, I don't know. So the wiring is pretty straightforward. I think you just have to look at the connection or the wiring diagram, or you do it. You just have to check the wiring diagram. Before I test, I will mount the steam valve again. So double checked everything again. I told you in the beginning I use a modified version of the cover. That's because I glue the felt here so that I do not destroy the coloring of the coffee machine. So it snaps really nicely in. So the moment of truth. Let's see if the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours was worth it. Hopefully I connected everything right. Let's see. Let's go. Looks not too bad. I'm actually kind of nervous. But it looks good. So let's see if everything is sealed. No. So second test, I changed the sealing from the steam valve because it leaked, and I changed it. I think it is an EPDM, and I changed it to silicone O-ring. And yeah, let's see if it is all sealed. Looking good. So one more quick tip to make sure to pleat out the pressure transducer. For that I just grab a towel and I turn on the pump and I slowly open it, that it pleats a little bit out, and then it should be fine. So to get an accurate pressure on the sensor. So, wiring wise, I also put some end sleeves, cable end sleeves here, also for the pressure transducer to secure a stable connection. And now my idea is every cable that comes, I don't know if you can see that, every cable that comes from the left side here is going here, the front holes, and the others are I'm trying to put in through that place or that hole. And I also want to do one more thing. I don't know if it's necessary, but trying to somehow keep the cables away from the boiler to get a little bit separation, that the heat is not really doing anything to the cables. Okay, I thought I was finished, but the PCB housing in the right corner, for me, I don't know. I did not have enough space, so I couldn't place the funnel in, and now I tried, I think, 1 or 2 hours to find a perfect space, but I placed it here. But hopefully, I do not know if you can see it. I do not know if there is enough space to the boiler or to the steam valve, so I will try it and look if the plastic melts. It's ABS with carbon fibers, so I think it should be fine. Tested the place of the housing for approximately, I don't know, 30 minutes on steam mode, so that the boiler has 145 degrees, and it seems like everything is fine. I will try to place the top cover. So for calibrating the temperature, we do the following. You go to steam and then start with, I don't know what, like 100 degrees. So you wait a little bit and then try if steam comes out. If not, you basically increase the temperature. Going to 110. Wait it a little bit and then look if there is steam. Still no steam, so I go to 115. So it's set 116 degrees. So because I found at 116 it started to steam, so my temperature offset is approximately 16 degrees. And then I go to the Gaggimate web interface, and at settings and temperature offset I put in 16 degrees. If for you somehow at 100 degrees it already there's already steam, so you have to start with 80 and then increase to find your temperature offset. So now I think we are ready to pull the first espresso shot. So let's see. I will select this Automatic Pro 18 gram file or profile. I got it from the Discord group, and let's see